Okay. I would like to call the meeting of the St. Louis County Board of Zoning Adjustment to order. The board members present today are Angelia Bills, Chair, Justin Randall, Vice Chair. The Department of Planning staff members are Mel Wilson and Gretchen Arnold. Also on the call is John Burford from the County Counselor's Office. First, I offered into record the affidavit of publication pertaining to today's meeting, October 5th, 2022. The board hereby takes official notice of and admits into evidence on the record the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance, Chapter 1003, St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974, as amended, and Chapter 1004 of the St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974, as amended. Next, I would like to call for a motion to approve the minutes of the previous BZA meeting of September 21st, 2022. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. This meeting is conducted as a teleconference and is recorded. The planning staff will read each request into the record and present technical advice to the board if needed. The petitioner will be unmuted, state their name, and make a brief presentation to the board explaining the reason and hardship for the requested variance. The board will not consider financial hardships. Board members may ask questions to clarify the facts. When the board is satisfied with the material presented, the chairperson will then ask if there is anyone in favor or opposition to the request. To do so, please click the hand next to your name. If any comments were submitted, staff will read them into the record. Before a call for the vote, the petitioner may request a continuance in order to bring in additional documentation. The board may also request a continuance to gather additional information or for a visit to the site. Once comments have been heard, the chairperson will call for a vote. At that time, the discussion has ended. No further discussion is permitted. The board will generally make a decision today. Since there are only 2 members at this time, if the board's vote is split, the request will be deemed denied. If a variance is approved, the petitioner has 6 months to obtain the necessary permits or establish the use requested, or the variance will expire. The petitioner or any interested party has the right of appeal to the St. Louis County Circuit Court. This must be done within 30 days of the decision. Paperwork indicating the board's decision will be mailed to petitioner.
All right.
All right, yeah, that was it.
Okay. Mel, do we have anybody from?
I don't see the petitioner on for this petition.
Okay.
The board could continue it if they desire.
We can move it to the end.
Okay. We can do that. All right, so starting off, we're gonna do 79-22. Jed Momot is requesting an exception to the side and rear yard regulations for the purpose of constructing a retaining wall and a fence / barrier if needed at 1258 Spring Lily Drive, maintaining both side yards of 0 feet in lieu of 5 feet and a rear yard of 0 feet in lieu of 15 feet as required by the R3 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance and PEU Ordinance 22,474.
Okay, Mr. Crowder, you are unmuted to give your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, the Momots have a steep backyard that terminates into a wood line, and they've got children. There's no place for the kids to play, so we're basically creating level backyard for our play space. Excuse me, fighting a cold. Creating level space for the kids to play in the backyard. I know the subdivision has approved this. I think I've done probably 6 or 8 other homes in that development with similar projects of retaining walls to the property lines with fences above the walls for level space for the kids.
Is that the area where you're gonna put the retaining wall, that first picture?
Yes, ma'am. The elevation in the back drops about 10 feet. So we'd be building a wall that's about 9.5 feet high, so it drains properly. And behind that wall, it's all wooded common ground in back of them. So there's no immediate neighbor behind them that's affected.
Justin, do you have any questions?
No, I'm good.
Is there anyone in favor or opposition?
I don't see anyone, so at this time I'm going to put the petitioner on mute so the board can take action.
Hearing none, 78-22, I vote to approve the variance as advertised. The hardship.
It's 79.
I'm sorry, 79-22. I vote to approve the variance as advertised, and the hardship just being the need to increase safety in the backyard for the children.
I'll second that.
Alrighty. (80-22) Midwest Bank Center is requesting an exception to the sign regulations for the purpose of replacing an existing monument sign at 2191 Lee Ferry Road, maintaining a distance of 375 feet in lieu of 400 feet between signs as required by the C3 Shopping District regulations and Section 1003.168 sign regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance and CUP 154.
Mr. Crone, you can go ahead with your presentation.
Yes, thank you very much. My name's John Crone. I'm with Warren Sign. So the ordinance requires the signs be 400 feet apart. This is an older plaza on Lee Ferry Road. And the sign that we would be putting in would only be 375 feet away. Now, the new sign is actually replacing a sign that is already there. So the new sign will be going into the same spot as there is currently a sign located. Again, the signs are only 375 feet apart, but if we relocate the sign 25 more feet to the west to comply, this would move the sign away from the entrance where it is identifying. The existing sign has been in place at that location for years and is not causing any negative effects to any neighboring properties. So that, so that's the sign there that's being replaced with a sign that has multiple tenants on it. It'll have a construction company and Midwest Bank Center on it. The signs will be the same. This sign, the new sign, will be the same size, same square footage as that sign is currently.
Basically just upgrading an existing sign, updating.
Updating an existing sign and keeping it in the same place where it has currently been. That sign is currently 375 feet away from the other sign as opposed to 400. But again, relocating that sign would cause some confusion as to which driveway people are supposed to be going into.
Justin, do you have any questions?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone in favor or opposition?
I don't see anyone, so at this time I'm going to mute the petitioner.
In the matter of 80-22, based on the existing entrance location not meeting the required setback for the sign, I recommend approval of requested variance as advertised.
I second it.
So we do not see the petitioner for 8122 at this time. If you want, we can come back at the end or the board can continue it.
We can come back and.
Okay. All right. 82-22 Barry and Smith Custom Homes is requesting an exception to the front and side yard regulations for the purpose of constructing a new single-family residence at 7555 Becker Road, maintaining a front yard of 37 feet in lieu of 50 feet and a side yard of 10 feet in lieu of 20 feet as required by the NU non-urban district regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance.
Okay, Mr. Doring and Mr. Barry, you can both unmute and give your presentation.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm Mark Doring, president of Doring Engineering. On COVID assignment this morning, I picked up COVID Monday. I thought I got through without getting COVID, and they caught me on Monday, so I'm working from home today. So with that, Jeff Barry and the buyers of the house, Jeff and Pixie Hopkins, I'd like them to say a few words, and then if you could hand it back to me when they're finished, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jeff Barry. I'm here with Jesse and Pixie Hopkins. I'm going to let them speak. They came all the way here from California. So,
hello, I'm Jesse Hopkins. I'm here with my wife Pixie, and just a little bit about ourselves. I'm recently retired, a little less than a month now. So my wife and I, we were looking for a place to retire and settle down. And we've been out here several times. We have our daughter and son-in-law and grandkids out here. And we've been out here once or twice every year for the past several years. And we really love the area. So we decided this was the place for us, and did some looking around, found a lot. And we're really excited. We're getting a home built on that lot.
Yeah, the reason mostly is to be by the grandkids, and also the change for the size of the front yard and the side yard is because the house is going to accommodate the third car garage will be an RV garage, so we can store it indoors and not have to worry about the elements deteriorating the RV, because the kids really love to go camping with Avi. And as military veterans, we appreciate the area because, you know, Scott Air Force Base is close, and so we can utilize that. But we definitely wanted to be here for the grandkids.
so yeah, we'll let Mark finish up his technical stuff.
Okay, am I back on?
Yes, sir.
Great, thank you. The particular site is at the end of Becker Road in South St. Louis County. The lot's 94 foot wide in the front, about 100 some in the back, and it's 180 feet deep, okay? It's zoned non-urban because this is one of those parcels that simply has never been zoned to a residential classification. The lot has some problems with it. Could you go to the site plan for me? Yeah, can you zoom out just a little bit on that for me, please? Thank you so much. Okay, as you face the site, the lot dives to the back left corner. The elevation at the front is 574, while at the back left corner it's 536. So that's about 38 feet of fall, which is a lot of fall. We're in the very hilly part of South County here. Okay, on the left side of the lot, you see several lines running there. That is an existing sanitary sewer line that we need to stay away from, okay, to build this house. Normally, you can get closer to a sanitary sewer, but because of the terrain dropping so much, the sanitary sewer actually dips below our foundation, and MSD wants us to stay away from our house, away from that sanitary sewer, because if they ever had to repair it, they'd actually have to be worried about our house actually collapsing into their repair pit. So we need to stay away from that line because, again, the sewer is so deep because of all the fall that I'm telling you about that it sits maybe 6 or 8 feet lower than our actual basement, okay? In addition to that, even the grades at the back corner of the house there, the back left corner, the existing grade there is 560. There's 14 feet of fall from the front of the street to the back of my left corner of the house there. You can usually take out about 8 feet of fall through a walkout, but we still got another 6 feet to catch up with. And so that foundation is actually sticking out of the back corner 6 feet as we have it laid out. So what we've done here to get to this situation is we pushed the house forward. Normally I'm required to have a 50-foot building line. However, again, the site's never really been rezoned, it's non-urban, and the house on the left side and the house on the right side basically sit back 37 feet from Becker Road, which is where we placed the front of our house to match the two adjoining houses. Now, the house on the left side is actually 41 feet from Becker Road, but that's because they have about 4 feet less right-of-way in front of them. But as you drive by, our house will be lined up exactly between the two houses on each side of us. The house on the right side of us has a 15-foot side yard and not a 20 as required by their zoning. But we're asking for a 10 feet. And again, the reason we're trying to do that is we need to slide this house over away from that ravine on the left and left rear corner of our site, even to practically build this and to stay away from our sanitary sewer as previously discussed. So we spent a lot of time on this plot plan. The house itself is not big at all whatsoever. It has a big garage on the one side, but it's not any bigger than the houses in the area. It's not going to look audacious to anybody. But again, I spent a lot of time personally laying this lot out the way that I felt it needed to be done from an engineering standpoint. And that is why we have the variance request in front of you as stated. And if you have any questions, we'd be happy to try and answer them.
And
During-
so,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
go ahead, Jess. Well, my only question was about the RV garage. Is that kind of the reason for the need for the side yard setback?
If it was a 3-car garage, not really, because you'd still have the garage in the front part of that anyway. Okay, so you would still need the setback to get a 3-car garage on there. So
Mr.
the
Doran?
problem is the width of the lot with the ravine on the left side is fairly limited, but we're keeping 10 feet and it'll keep us still 25 feet away from our neighbors.
Is there any documentation on your statements from MSD?
No, that's from 30 years of engineering, dealing with them every day. I'm a licensed engineer in the state of Missouri, and that's what I do.
Yeah.
And in addition to this, the sanitary sewer loading, the grade problem, if we move over, like I said, the back corner right now, we're 6 feet out of the ground from our basement. And as the further you move over, you're going down that ravine farther, you move over another 6 feet, then you're about another 2 feet taller, more out of the ground. So it just gets to be a really horrendous situation heading down that ravine with the grades as well as the sanitary sewer discussion.
So basically,
Okay.
it's my understanding that the topography of the land is just kind of unstable, unlevel over there.
Yeah, again, we're dropping 38 feet and 180 feet. That's about an 18% grade, which is a horrendous grade. It's a ravine. It's not flat at all. It's a ravine. The pictures don't really show it. I'm looking at the ones in pictures here. It doesn't really show it, but on a normal house, you'd have 10, 15 feet of fall up to the back of your lot. We've got 38.
Justin, did you have any other questions?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess my biggest concern is you could actually, if you centered this house on the lot, stay off the easement from MSD. You don't need the side yard setback variances. I guess I understand a little bit about the front lot line setback. That's kind of why I was wanting to know if MSD had commented, gave you that information.
Well, it takes me some distance to even catch grade in there. It would be grading over our property line without having retaining walls. Because what happens there, Justin, is once we start going down at that slope, once we go past that, we really never catch grade sloping down because the slope is as steep as a stable slope is right now. So we move over further, we just keep grading down the hill, or we have to build a retaining wall down the hill further. And again, the retaining wall's over the MSD sewer easement, which they wouldn't let us do it. So I understand your question, but like I said, this to the best of my engineering ability here, this is really where we really need to be.
Okay, I don't have any other question.
Okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
I don't see anyone, so at this time I'm going to mute the petitioners.
Hearing none, 82-22. I'm going to vote to approve the variances advertised, with the hardship just being the topography and difficult terrain of the land.
I'll concur.
Eighty-three 22, Krasimir Inglov is requesting an exception to the lot coverage requirements for the purpose of maintaining an existing above-ground swimming pool and a detached deck / porch at 307 Windy Oak Drive, maintaining a lot coverage of 13% in lieu of 7% as required by the R4 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance.
Mr. Angelov, you can unmute yourself to give your presentation.
Hey, hello everyone. My name is Chris Mirangelo. This is like, this is 2 years work for me, like since COVID hit, and I try to make something to our kids so it can be more, not sitting on tablets and stuff. I just put that pool on it. I want to connect that I have a existing like pergola, and I put like a little deck so it can connect to the pool area. So that's what it is. I didn't know that the requirement needs to be for more than 7% of the yard, but it's turned out pretty nice. Kids love it, and I will try to see if I can approve everything to be on the right, I have like a self locks, like everything, the fence around that deck.
Was there a particular reason that you had to place those items in those areas?
Like I say, like I want this pool, and the kids can enjoy it. It's like it took me like 2 years to build all that stuff, because I built all the stuff all by myself. Like I said again, like I didn't know needs to be like, I need approval for to be more than 13% coverage of my yard. So like that's how I'm figuring right now this stuff. So I just really sorry, but I don't know what we can do. I don't want to remove everything down. If I have to, of course, I'll do it. I'm just.
Do you have any questions?
I guess there's no, I guess it's for the county, there's no other like setback issues. It's mainly the lot coverage.
Yeah, it's just the lot
Just
coverage. So
coverage, yeah.
the deck under the pergola, the new deck, the pool, and then this other outbuilding combined are what's totaling that 13%.
Yeah, it's like that deck. It's like less than maybe feet tall, like just continue of my patio. So I just can connect that higher deck around the pool where it is, so they don't have to go to the mud and then go to that deck. That's what it is, basically.
Thank you.
And then the shed in the other corner, is that still in use?
Yes, I use that shed too. Yeah, that's all my tools in gardening. I use that one.
Have any other questions, Justin?
No, I'm good.
Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
I don't see anyone, so at this time I'm going to mute the petitioner.
Yours, Justin?
Yeah, I know. I'm struggling with the hardship. Do you have any ideas, Angela, on the hardship?
Other
I
than
mean, I
everything.
understand. I understand that he didn't know what he was getting into, but I mean, it's 6% over.
I mean, doesn't look
Yeah.
bad.
I know exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't look
and
bad. The
and
neighbors aren't complaining about it, so.
I know 6% isn't much lot coverage either. So
The lot is not large. I think
Is
it's consistent with the neighborhood, but it's not a very large lot.
and does the lot meet all the dimensions of the R4 district?
Or if it's 7,500 square feet, that's the minimum lot size.
Because I was gonna say if the lot size is under the minimum requirements for some reason, could be definitely
Yeah, that would have been a reason.
opportunity. All right, we'll go with based on the existing nature of the lot, accessory structures, recommend approval of 83-22.
I second it.
All right, 84-22, James Whistler is requesting an exception to the rear yard regulations for the purpose of constructing an 8-foot high fence at 1230 Kings Trail Lane, maintaining a rear yard of 3 feet in lieu of 15 feet as required by the R3 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance and PEU Ordinance 7179.
Mr. Whistler, you can unmute and give your presentation.
Hi, first off, I'm not going to put the 8-foot fence all the way around my yard. It's just across the back. If you noticed, my property does tilt slightly towards the back, and about the last 15 feet or so has a pretty good drop off. I would say about a 2-foot drop off. If you noticed on the picture there, that's a Jefferson County street, and that street butts up directly to my chain link fence as it is. When I say it butts up directly, there's about 2 feet space between my chain link fence and the road that's out there. And the people behind us had put rock in there to park. They park, they do, sorry with my drawings, but they park, the one has a lawn service that he parks back there. Another guy has some kind of construction business. He's got a tow truck. He parks backhoes back there and stuff like that. So, a 6-foot fence back there would not give me the privacy and I feel the safety with the traffic in that, with people coming up and down that road with my grandkids and my dog. I've asked my neighbors if they object. The one on the east side does not. He is fine with it as long as I remove his fence, his chain link fence. The person on the west side, they have been deceased, and I've made attempts to talk. I've talked to the son of them, who's supposed to be the executor of it, and he said he don't care. And now I believe there's a real estate agent that's doing rehab on it and that, and I've made several attempts to ask him. The guy directly behind me on Jefferson County, I asked them if they mind. He said, it's my property, I can do what I want. He does not care. He says, but he would enjoy sitting and watching out the window, my wife and I on my patio. So that's kind of sketchy. They also have, at the end of that street, have built some kind of utility, Ameren utility thing, so that I've got more traffic back behind there. And if you see the houses to the west of me, they don't have the same kind of grade I do. Mine drops off a little more. So if like 2 houses down, they put a privacy fence up, and on the grade that they put it up, it would be about the same grade as my 8-foot fence would be. Because theirs has got more of it's just like a flat, and then it's just like drop off, where mine slowly drop. Again, with the utility services, and I also get a lot of noise from Highway 30 and Old Sugar Creek. I was hoping it would conduct some of the noise on that, and so I'm sorry that my drawings aren't that great. There is a 30-foot, there is a fence back there, chain link fence, as you can see back there now, that it was basically the position I would be putting the privacy fence. They also do park equipment alongside of my fence. Since they put that rock there, they will park equipment along there. And at one point, I did have my own car, a car parked behind there, and some guy in some coveralls and no shirt come knocking on my door, telling me I can't be parked back there. So.
Do you have any pictures of the backyard so we can see what's going on behind the house?
No, ma'am, I don't. I mean, that's what you got back there. To the east of me, they have nobody behind them. To the west of me, it's vacant, and then 2 houses down continue. They have fences down along there blocking that road off.
So those pictures were of the petitioner's backyard looking towards the road behind him.
Yes, and these are pictures of the fence.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's the road behind it.
Yes, that's the road. You can see how it's right on top of my fence. I mean, literally right on top of my fence. And again, the way that my yard is pitched there, naturally in all yards, it's graded to where it actually falls, but right there about 15 feet up, it actually even has more of a fall to it, where the other yards down the street are more level and set up, and that's where they get their extra feet for their privacy and security. I will be doing in 6 feet on both sides, and in the front on the 2 sides of my house will be 6 feet.
Okay, and basically the current fence is at the 15 feet in the back?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, what is that at? Because it looked like it was pretty close.
That would be about the 3 feet.
Okay, so basically you're putting the fence
right back about where it's at. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so basically you're putting a privacy fence in the same area that the current fence is.
In lieu of the chain link fence, yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
And because the chain link fence is so short, it doesn't have to meet the setback right now.
Okay.
Right, correct. I think it's only 3.5 feet high. But again, with my grandkids and that are back there, I'm not downing Jefferson County, but there's a lot more activity. There's a lot of stuff going on back there. I mean, they could easily, somebody could drive down that road, grab a kid, my grandkid, my dog, anything. And, you know, we have no privacy. Now, the privacy fence will, even at 8 foot, will only give me privacy for my patio and my yard. The people back there would not block their view of, you know, my house and windows and that type of thing. But
Justin, do you have any questions?
No, I'm good.
Is there anyone in favor or opposition?
There are no other attendees, so at this time I will mute the petitioner.
So what do you think about this one, Justin? Are you okay with this? Or do you think that the fence should be shorter, or what's your thoughts?
Just based on the fact that he's got a road in his backyard, I would think sufficient.
Okay. Okay, well, 84-22, I'm going to vote to approve the variance as advertised, and the hardship just being the need for increased safety and noise reduction.
I'll second.
That is the end of today's agenda.
Do we
Thanks,
need to
guys.
formally,
Yeah.
do we need to formally continue those two, or?
Yes, I believe
No one
so.
else has, yeah, those two petitioners have not jumped on.
Okay, so we moved that those cases be continued to the next.
All right.
7022 and 8122.
Mhm.
Yes.
I'll second it.
Okay. Righty. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
2
you.
weeks.